it was a literary journal called Forms, and it was the Journal of Theosophists. It was edited by Emily, what was her name? McCormick, I think, and she lived in California, up in Montara, California. I have lost my copy of that. She published 5 of my poems that year. I've lost that book. If anybody knows of her or her work now, that would be awesome to find out. The poem called Flash, I don't even have a copy of it, but this is what led up to it. And it was in March of 1980. The vague flash of an image has been popping up in my mind for the past few days, like in a dream. It is so unconcrete that it is difficult to explain. I see it when I look at the various arched-shaped objects all around me. They're fan-shaped, or like a half of a wreath. And there's a sense of an eye within the pattern of those lines. The flash is so instantaneous that I don't get a chance to analyze or examine it very closely, but it's becoming clearer now, so I'll try to reproduce it on paper. This will probably be wrong, but this is the drawing that I did at that time. Looking at it now, it kind of looks like a bullfighter's hat. I don't know. Partially, there is a wavy line, should be more like flowers, or maybe not flowers, but some sort of rippled design. And thinking about this image, I found that it stemmed from two sources. One was a picture of my grandmother Owen and me that I developed recently. It says that was in 1980. As I was watching the print come up, I used Gran's face as a light and dark gauge to know how long I should leave it in the developer. The photo was overexposed anyway, so the whole right side of her face is quite light, and only the left eye really comes up. Of course, in a photo, this is in a negative, this is reversed, and we see the left eye on the right side. She has glasses and an angle over the eye in the glasses design. And the bushes behind us, it crowns our heads more or less like an arch. So that's where I think that image was coming from at the time, because I was concentrating on developing that picture. But the second part of where that image might have come from, every morning doing my meta dance exercises, what I called the body break in those days, I stand in the kitchen facing east, looking out the window to the redwood trees. The depth of field when I focus on the window brings in an old spider web with a victim on the left and leaves out of focus images of trees, slanted branch, and in the distance, it's along those lines, like that fan of Gran's glasses shape. So those two images are very similar. And the poem Flash seems to have some subliminal crucifixion allusions, I think. But I didn't say that. I think it was Emily McCormick who said that. I didn't see that in the poem at the time. But I did, at that time, I had the belief of monotheism is what I had envisioned one morning, came into my skylight. I told you that, right? I don't remember. And it does track along with that notion of monotheism, that we are all connected to everything that is living and breathing and moving and alive in the world. Everything in the world is of one source, one God source, moving through the breath and the movement of everything that we touch and everything that comes into our life. So we, in fact, are all one in the universe. And I think this is something that we're all beginning to recognize on the scientific level as well as the spiritual level.